God bless you out there across the globe. When God reclaimed you, he don't then become your father or your rightful owner, but you become his again. We rediscover in John 1 and 12, but as many, and though the words of Hebrews chapter 2, verse 10 and 11 come into surface, for it becometh him for whom are all things, and by whom are all things, and bringing many of us to glory, to make the captain of our salvation perfect through suffering. For he that hath sanctified, and we who are sanctified, and we're sanctified through John 17:19, where Jesus said, for their sake I sanctify myself, that they or we also might be sanctified through the truth, are all of one. For which cause he is not ashamed to call us brethren. Had received him again, to us gave he power. And that power that he gave us is even power to create worlds. Keep that in mind. You're not going to know these things because you're going through. All right? How are you going to know you got power to create worlds when you're going through? All right? Even power to create worlds, to become and to put back into rotation. We've said this. I want you to listen closely. You got the power to put back in rotation. Give an example. If you saw a star falling from the sky, and the Spirit tells you, speak to that star and put that star back into orbit, you got the power to put that star back into orbit, because you don't understand the authority of that power that you have. You got that power to restore. You become sons of God, even to them that believe. Listen to this. In Luke 10:19, he didn't say you have power over the enemy, but he said that you have power over all the power of the enemy. So it's not just the enemy, but it is also the power of the enemy. So begin to realize this, that you want to have fun with God, you have to recognize the power that you have over the enemy and over his power. And he said, all the power of the enemy. So when you've got power not only over the enemy, but you've got power over all his power, and you begin to see this, know this, understand this, execute this, you know that you are in a place that is absolutely wonderful with you and God. And I want to make it quite clear, to hear God claim his right of ownership of everything from Genesis chapter 1, verse 31. I want to make this quite clear. To hear God claim his right of ownership of everything. God saw everything that he had made. Stop right here for a moment. What does it mean for God, who is the Spirit, Genesis John 4:24, to have seen everything, whether he himself personally made everything collectively himself, or whether he had everything made by other creatures, which he himself created solely for the creation of everything? Look at an example. He gave Noah the description for the ark. All right? He gave Noah the description for the ark. And exactly what do everything look like to God, and how is everything structurally established to God? How does everything look structurally established before God? Keep these things in mind. Look, I don't preach like nobody, I don't teach like nobody. I tell you what God wants you to see, to know, to understand. All right? I can't preach like nobody because there are no two things alike. There are no two planets alike. There are no two birds alike. There are no two swarms alike. We're going to get in that for you. You're going to love the swarming birds, swarming fish, swarming insects, swarming galaxies. Swarming heavens. You're going to love all this kind of stuff that God here is sending for you to understand. Making the captain go out so perfect and claiming his right of ownership. God saw everything. And we said everything structurally established to him. What does it look like? Everything would be all inclusive in the amount of space required to contain everything to his exact specification. And we use the word specifications, not specification, but specifications. And the reason we use the word specification is because worlds were involved within that everything which God saw and beheld. You know that because Hebrews 11:3 said, by the word were worlds framed. All right, so we put that specification, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. Now, giving the newly created world a time when God essayed, and afterwards when he beheld everything that he had made in its completeness. Now, the evening was a solar evening, and the morning was a stellar morning. Solar evening, solar system, stars of the solar system, the Milky Way. Evening, the morning was higher, that of the stars, the higher realm, the higher day. We need to understand these kinds of things coming from God and beyond just your personal environment of your neighborhood. And the morning and the evening. I want to make one thing clear. The sun and the solar system with its perihelions. Perihelions is that moment that any planet in the solar system is closest to the sun at that particular time. June 21st for Earth. Is much too small and too minute to reveal everything God had made. Keep that in mind. And even the light from the Milky Way galaxy, that is also too minute to behold everything God had made. Understand this clearly. All right. The relatively great fields of matter covering everything is even far too great beyond the lights from the galactic clusters of the cosmos. Keep that in mind. The Bible gives the world a very unique tool of study, and that is the vision of all found in Isaiah 29:11. We will continue that shortly. God bless you, global Christian friends out there across the world.